Hell yeah. Check one, check two, check one, check two. Nigga, we in the building.
They got their dates mixed up.
Hell yeah. You ready, nigga, for real?
Yeah.
We out here, dog. James. Oh, yeah, James, what up, dog? Oh, shit. Wait. Got something playing in the background? Oh, that's me. Yeah, that's me.
All right.
Fucking up. Not used to having controls at night. Producer of the year and shit. Reed, what's happening, baby? We doing our little bourbon show right now. He's talking about hi guys. That was Shad, man. What up, though?
Oh, that Shad?
My nigga Shad. My nigga Shad Moss. Gotta fuck around at the beginning for real. Just real quick to let people.
My God.
IG Live, man. Facebook Live. YouTube Live. Fucking Mixcloud. Twitch. We everywhere, dog. You know what I'm saying?
All over.
Salute to all people that drink bourbon because we getting ready to drink something and get all the way fucked up and shit. So hopefully, this is our first live show. So hopefully I don't get too drunk because we can't edit shit. So it's just, yeah. We free balling.
Hey.
Pause. Free balling. Shout out to super producer too, man. He getting ready to get his own little podcast network.
Oh, straight up? Okay.
Shit, yeah.
Okay.
He trying to shit. What he don't
Big
know is
shot.
what he don't know is I'm gonna steal all the royalties, so it don't really matter. So he gonna think he got something, but he ain't got shit.
Yeah.
He ever do that nigga like what's the white dude name? NWA and shit.
Oh,
That nigga.
yeah, that too, yeah.
Yeah, that nigga.
Yeah,
Steal
I
all the
got you.
royalties.
Mm-hmm.
Make him an easy E and shit. Think he doing something.
Hey,
All right, man. Shit, it's Wednesday, dog. Let's get to that
let's
shit.
get to it. Yeah.
Let's do it. Hey, guys. You know exactly what it is, man. This is episode 3 of the Beers, Bourbon, Whiskey podcast. It's your boy, man, Q Lewis, holding it down live from the 48205. I got my man Bo in the building.
Oh, sure.
Dog, we definitely out here for episode 3, and I'm excited because this is actually one that I sort of chose. So we came up with a list today of some shit that we wanted to do, and I had a few things on the list, but I ran across this one on matter of fact, it was on Angry Principles IG and shit.
Okay.
It was, the bourbon. Damn, That's Good Bourbon Guild is the name of his IG. Damn, That's Good Bourbon Guild. I'll make sure you check him out. But yeah, so I seen this on there, and we checking it out right now. And it's Old Forester.
Old
Right?
Forester.
Now I think it's a few of those. And shit.
Yeah,
So
there's a few. Just 100 proof, 1897, I believe. Yeah.
100 proof, which means midway through this this episode, I will probably be completely drunk. And we'll be talking about some crazy shit, but
Oh, soft palate over here.
yeah, I got a soft palate. So if it's some strong shit, then I might get drunk off of the first shot. But anyway, also salute to P4Custom.com and shit, right? P for Custom. I don't know if they got a .com yet, but it's P for Custom Designs and shit. Who did my glass? Already says Flip Side on the front, which is my business name, and it actually has a Q on the bottom. You probably can't see me. Show it to that camera. It's got a Q on the bottom, so whenever I get drunk, I remember who I am because I see the Q on the bottom. Stewie, my man Stewie just checked in. What up, though?
Stuart.
Yes, we're live, Stu.
Stuart.
That means you can chime in and talk shit with us today, for sure. And I think we.
And if y'all want to talk shit, never mind.
What?
To a white Republican male, you're going to get your opportunity.
Oh, yeah, you get your opportunity to. And he will respond.
He'll respond.
That's why we fuck with. That's why we fuck with
That's
Stu,
why
bro.
we fuck, yo.
And also, too, man, if you listen on IG Live, this is the great thing about IG. You ain't just got to put in the comment. You can hit the join button, and you can be, like, right here in the studio with us.
There you go.
We can hear you and talk
All
shit.
in,
and
baby.
See you. Yeah, you get all in and shit, dog. All right, so that's what we're talking about today, man. If you did check out our show earlier, shout out to E-Block Radio, the Wake and Bake show. If you did check us out earlier, we were talking about mass incarceration. So that's actually what we go finish up that conversation tonight. Because I know that I think Bo had some things to say earlier, but he didn't get a chance to chime in. So we go say a couple things. But first, we go do something that we haven't done in any episode thus far. This is 3rd season in. You know what I'm saying? This is like the 16th or 18th liquor and shit that we tried.
Something like that, yeah.
But for the first time ever, well, 2 things. First time ever we're live, and we getting ready to bust the bottle open right now.
Right now.
Right this second, dog. So, well, you know, my arm's short and shit. I couldn't get to that motherfucker. So we getting ready to bust it down right now. 100 proof, dog.
100 proof.
50% alcohol.
That's what
I'll
it
be
is.
drunk pretty quickly here. But we're going to talk about, real quick. But we're going to talk about mass incarceration, dog. Real quick before we get into that, though. I guess you said you had one of the Old Foresters before.
Yeah, the regular one. Okay. Like, yeah, it was dope. You know, it was real bold. It had a little fruity up front. You know what I mean? Okay. Maybe a little spicy, but you know, we're gonna see what's happening, man. Yeah. A little oak, maybe.
Yeah. I know you're trying to See, I'm just gonna pour it up a little bit before I stick my whole nose. You know, I'm used to putting motherfucking boogers into the bottle and shit. See what this nose is talking about. The nose. You know, I usually talk in hood terms. Like, let me see what that shit smell like. Clear my sinuses. Oh, this not at all what I'm thinking.
It's apples.
Yeah, this gonna be
cedar.
Sweet. This gonna be sweet and fruity.
Yeah, apples, sweeter,
Yeah.
cedar oak.
Oh, I'm tripping. We got going on. That's not gonna work. Take out the motherfucking trident. Oh, dog. Shot, get out of here, dog. I'm not even reading that, dog. It's a kind of out of the way gay joke and shit. I don't think we can. See, we live, dog. That's the only thing about doing this shit live.
What you think?
It's definitely not what I thought. This shit is good, though.
This is nice.
This shit is good.
It's nice.
Damn.
That's like apples right up front,
Hell
right?
yeah.
Little citrus, maybe some cedar or something like that. Yeah.
The cedar at the back end.
Yeah,
Sure.
it got a little spicy finish to it. Definitely
can taste the wood.
Definitely
can taste the wood in that motherfucker for real. It tastes like you walking through a cedar mill and shit. If you ever smell fresh wood, that's kind of what it tastes like. Shit. In the middle somewhere. But it's delightful. I ain't gonna lie to you. And look, this is what I always say, because if you watched this show before, then you already know I do have a softer palate and shit. So sweeter shit, fruitier shit. I mean I'm mostly accustomed to, when it comes to sweetness though, I like the caramel.
Crown peach.
Anyway, I like the caramel taste better than the fruit taste and shit, but nothing wrong with. Well, first of all, I don't even drink Crown Peach. Crown Apple, Crown Vanilla, yeah, I do.
Maybe Crown Vanilla.
Crown Vanilla is the shit, though. You can't shit on that.
I don't know. Hey, what you think though? Like this, or would you fuck with like the Scotch we had last week, the Balvenie?
I ain't gonna lie, the Balvenie was good. Balvenie is good. If I'm drinking Scotch, I'm with it. But if I gotta pick between these two, then I'm
gonna go with the bourbon.
Yeah, I'm going with the bourbon.
That's
yeah,
what's up. Okay.
For sure. But yeah, no doubt the Balvenie is great though. So if you didn't check out last episode, we had Balvenie Scotch. That shit was pretty good. Shot said, "Come on, Bo, that flavor Crown is good." I think I had the peach one time. It was terrible.
Come on, bro. I could maybe do. Yeah, the vanilla maybe.
Stu say, why you say his name like that? Stewart. Gotta make sure you know who he is and shit, dog. But yeah, so far we've done 3 things, right? Up until this point for this season. So we did Detroit City, which is up there, which I gotta put some pictures of the dead soldiers up there. So we did Detroit City Bourbon, the Butcher's Cut. Then we did Balvenie last week, and right now we're doing Old Forester. Now, I think between the two, and damn, I hate to say it because it's local, but the Old Forester is better than the Butcher's Cut. It's better.
It's better.
Yeah, it's better.
It's better.
I hate to say it. Cause I love
but
guys.
I would say this though, you know, like Old
better.
Forester is like a national brand. Like I know you can get Detroit City elsewhere, but it's more of a regional kind of appeal, I think, right? But you know, yeah, and also these niggas been making bourbon for years. You know what I mean? So
a few motherfuckers.
they got a little learning curve right there.
For sure.
You know? Yeah, for sure.
No, this shit is good though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, what does I meant to ask you this before we got on air and shit. I don't even know if you know for real. What the hell does bottled and bond mean?
I think like back in the day, that's what they used to stamp on, and just like officially make it a bourbon or something like that.
I got you.
I could be wrong, but I think it's something along those lines. Yeah,
because I saw that on the obviously on the back of the bottle and the front, and then they said on their website, like, so I guess it's important. So there's something important about that shit. I meant to ask you that before we got on camera though. But yeah, definitely good. So let's let's get down to the shit.
Let's do it.
Talking about earlier, man, was mass incarceration. I think my question that I posed was like, is it a theory or does it?
No, it's not a theory.
I said that shit just to get the conversation started, and motherfuckers lost their mind on the show earlier. So it looked like you was getting ready to lose your mind right there too. So let's just get to it, dog. Is it a theory?
How could it ever be a theory? That's what I want. Like, I want to hear the argument for that.
I don't know.
Exactly, right?
Hey, look, I was just asking. I was just asking. I'm not
hell
sure.
no, hell no.
So
Especially,
it's
definitely not a theory when you got innocent people that go to court and they take a plea because they can't afford a lawyer,
right?
Or they can't, whatever it may be for as far as like money and finances go, right? So they're gonna take a plea and risk the chance of like not risk the chance, but like yeah, they're gonna do some time or they're gonna pay some fees or go on probation or whatever, knowing they innocent.
Knowing they
you know what I mean?
right.
So what?
Right.
How that even work?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then if you do get a lawyer with those court appointed, they're gonna do the very minimum because they got a caseload like this, right?
Exactly.
Come on, cuz.
I think like and this is kind of off the subject, I guess. Well, no, it's still along the same lines. But because you said that about court appointed lawyers, I obviously I know why they're there because everybody needs to have access to a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? However those means
whatever your situation is. Yeah.
But I mean, dog, that should be horrible. I mean, these court appointed lawyers be having so much of a caseload. It's got to be. I feel like it's got to be impossible to get a just. Like your just due with with a court appointed lawyer, dog, and that's kind of fucked up. Remember,
so first of all, I mean, I don't mean to interrupt. Like going even like back, further than that. Like a lot of their cases, small time shit, marijuana, drugs, shit like that. Shit people shouldn't be going to jail for in the first place. They be shooting in some type of treatment or whatever it is, right? And then you look around and you got big ass billboards and shit. Like everybody's selling weed now, you know what I mean? And you still got people in prison, in jail, on probation, on whatever for that.
Right.
Come on now.
And see, that's the one thing I will say about the city of Detroit. I know they kind of dragging their feet on making it completely recreational in the city of Detroit. But I will say that the city council members and some of the local government, the reason why it's such a slow stroll is because they're trying to get those people released from prison before they agree. Which for that I think is a good thing. Like I think that if they can force that issue because it's a money thing, and at the end of the day they are going to want that weed revenue. So if they're able to barter that to get some of these people out of jail for selling fucking nickel bags,
it's funny though, man.
I'm with that.
Because if you go back to the 80s, the war on drugs, right,
the war on drugs,
the
war on black people.
Like weed is horrible. Now white folks is getting rich off of weed. I'm not just gonna say now because they always have been, but they're doing it legally. Place, they're doing it legally now. Yeah. Right. So I don't know.
That's usually how it goes.
Just another system of control. That's all the war of drugs was, man. Because you look at slavery. After slavery, what was there? It was Jim Crow. Right. After Jim Crow, what was there? There was the war on drugs.
Right. Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. And that's what. Yeah.
It's kind of where we at with it. So that whole concept of mass incarceration has been kind of implemented in the thread of America this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
My man Square just checked in. What up, though?
Square,
we're talking about mass incarceration. Square, if you want to jump in there, dog, you can hit us in the comment box, dog. And, of course, we're talking about Old Forester, which is some good-ass fucking bourbon. This shit is good. All right, so look. Stu gave us the definition. To be labeled bottled in bond, a whiskey must be the product of a single distiller in a single season. Spring, January to June, or fall, July to December. Aged for a minimum of 4 years, and in federally bonded warehouse, and bottled at 50%. Okay.
Stu, you cite your source? I'm just saying.
You said, Stu, you say you're not gonna take the Republicans' word for it.
No, I just want to make sure you cite your, because you know how y'all be. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Make sure you cite your source.
Stu, don't let them do that to you, bro. Don't let them do that to you. My man D.I. just checked in. What up, though? Say, yo, promote my beard oil shaves and phase beard oil. Just saying, beard is in the same name of the podcast for sure, dog. Matter of fact, shout yourself out.
Hey, go ahead.
And we'll fuck around and support though. We'll do some product placement.
Hit us up on Instagram and come on real quick.
Right, you ain't lying. You can get on Instagram right now. You can say your shit live on the air. Also, too, for two products and shit, one for each of us and shit, we would do product placement on the show. We just need, both need our own. I mean, it's sponsorship, right? Yeah, it's cool. We'll look out for you, dog. So you give us some product and for ourselves, and then we'll do product placement on the show just for you, dog, because you my guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Let's get back to talking about these white folks, though.
Let's get back to it, dog. All right, so look, mass incarceration, dog. So, shameless plug. I did, write my best-selling novel, Those Brilliant Bastards, which is about mass incarceration and just kind of like the cycle that, that black people are going through. I guess the question is, and I posed this earlier during the show, and we came up with some, with some decent answers. But we know it exists. We know it's not just a theory. So, how do we stop that cycle? Like, how do we stop our next generation from going to jail? Like, because I know we can say that, the laws need to be changed, but in real life, laws haven't changed in 300 years. So, We're probably not going to be able to change those, so what do we do in the meantime?
I'm not even going to say vote because I'm not on that weak shit, right?
My man Dre just checked in. What up, though?
What up, though, Dre? Man, really, how it's going to change, man? I got a mic. People going to be mad. But white folks got to be scared. I mean, seriously, right? I mean, it's getting to a point where more of them are dying than being birthed in the United States, right?
Definitely.
You know what I mean? We're 13, 12% of the population. I think this population is 19 or 18% Hispanic or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think they kind of see that writing on the wall. So I think we need the pressure even more. And what I mean by that is not necessarily writing in your congressman and nothing like that. I don't mean like peaceful. I'm not talking about peaceful protests. I'm like
pressure.
Yeah, do what they've been doing all these years. You're gonna have to kick that door in sometime. Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, really, that's the only way I really see things like some serious change. You know what I mean?
Especially in our lifetime or the next generation or anything even remotely close.
And I hate to be pessimistic, but I don't think anything's going to change seriously during our lifetime, right? Because we got a lot of docile ass Negroes out here.
For sure.
But outside of that, though, man, I think when we see real change, it's going to be, it's not going to be pretty. It's probably going to be some violence.
So what do you think the main concern is, though? And what I mean by that is like, we know that mass incarceration is a thing, and shit, white people, policymakers, and lawmakers obviously know. They might not want to admit it, but they know. But like I think our generation probably understand that now. But the younger generation, do they really realize that they basically cattle? You know what I'm saying? Like they are being fed a system that gets them prepared. I think we touched on this one time before. How the school system kind of I don't want to shit on the schools, but how the school system kind of gets you in line to,
the school to prison pipeline.
Yes, exactly. So, like, with that being said, like, I think that maybe it's time for us to make sure that the younger generation understands that this is what you were set out to do. This is what you were set up to do. So, it really is in your power to change it. Like, the law's not going to change. You know what? Let's just keep it all the way real here and shit because we live and I can't edit this shit. So, whatever I say right now is just about to be said. The reality of it is that it's set up for you to fail. It's set up for you to go to prison. It's set up to make money off of your labor and your prison time and shit. And police are not going to stop killing us. Like, I just want to keep it real with you. Police not going to stop killing us. The shit people still going to be racist. Capitalism in its bare roots may have not been racist, but because racism and economics have been intertwined together, essentially, capitalism is racist. So you are going to at some point get to you go be at the bottom of some shit. So like when you know that, then you have to change shit. Now I don't want you to get it wrong. Like yes, there are some billionaires, some millionaires, some people who you would think are in position to actually make some changes, and possibly they are. But we can't always depend on a major movement anymore. Like back in the day, like the civil rights movement, like these big movements, like even right now, the Black Lives Matter movement, like it's something that could work, but at the end of the day, I think that we've had so many failed attempts that enough people won't actually band together to make a real like large movement. So I think we gonna have to make those movements in pockets. But you still got to realize that
you got to take your 10%, right?
You got to take your 10%, and you still got to realize. This is one thing I want to ask because I think we mentioned this before. Because I think I had a conversation with somebody, I can't remember when this was, like last year or something, and I was saying how I've always said like when you black you always kind of starting off at a deficit and shit. And somebody told me, I can't remember who it was now, but said that we shouldn't be telling our kids that, like we shouldn't be letting them know that we kind of behind the step. What do you think about that shit? Because I think in order for them to really take advantage of what few situations are available for them, like they have to understand that it's a necessity. It's not an option. Like it's really not a. Let me see. How can I say this without sounding like too over the top? But like as a black, especially a black male, because we kind of absent from the whole family structure, which we'll get into that later on and shit, which because this got something to do with mass incarceration. But especially as a black male, like the success is not an option. like you got to it's damn near imperative because if like your whole community depends on it. I don't think niggas understand how important we are to our community. So many of us are out of the community, you know what I'm saying, because we either some Dans, docile ass Negroes, or we in jail and shit, or well, no, I'm not gonna go there. But anyway, or you in jail, right? So that means you're not contributing to your community and shit. So I think that we really got to understand it sucks, but it's pressure. It's pressure, and it's just pressure that you have to have, and you have to really try to make a change on that shit. And in order for you just got to understand that it really is set up for you to fail. I think once you get that understanding, I think it makes it easier to try to get some kind of success. And some of these young kids, I think because they had a black president, they got black people in higher positions, they probably feel like the struggle ain't really what it is, but it is. You know what I'm saying? What you gotta say about that? It looked like you got something to say.
So, yeah, man. What do I think about? Do I think black families should tell their children that, or I think so, right?
Yeah. Some people don't agree, I guess.
Some people. I guess I look at a situation like this. I'd rather have my child be prepared for it, right?
Yeah.
Than find out by surprise.
Yeah.
When they're an adult or something like that.
Right. And find out by surprise that you're a nigger.
When they go out here and they really think that, everything's this great utopia and everything's all, sunshine or whatever.
Right.
And it's really not.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't care how inclusive or how diverse or whatever you think you are. Everybody, has their own biases, right? Sure. And those biases show their head sometimes. Mm-hmm. And when a certain group of people are in the majority and a certain group of people are in the minority, it more typically shows its head than not, right? Right. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they need to be prepared for that. How to call that shit out and how to really defend yourself, right? I mean, sure. Because I would hate for somebody, I would hate for it to be a surprise to my kid. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, damn, all of a sudden, like, damn, Pops is right. I really am black and shit. You know what I mean? Like, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Cause that's how my old man was. I ain't gonna lie. Coming up, like my old man was what I would call pretty racist. Obviously, I learned.
No, black people. First of all, no, black people can't be racist.
I know. I didn't learn that till later on though. I mean, I'm talking about as a kid. I was racist because I was just kind of throwing that word around. And I obviously understand that you can't be racist, but it definitely is prejudice. And so like a lot of shit he was telling me about, especially working at the plant. So he worked at the plant and shit. And a lot of shit that went on in there is a lot of, it's a lot of black and white. It's like so, and he used to tell me stories about some of the white people at the plant and shit, and tell me how bad shit was. Like he would never like bombard me with it, but he was telling me. Yeah. And I remember I always just say, man, like dog, it can't really be that bad. And his response was always, "You go see." Then he said, "When you see, don't be talking about I told you so." Right. And then I saw. And I never said nothing about it because I didn't want the nigga to say he told me so. I ain't never say nothing about it. But I did
the thing is, he knows when you saw it too, though.
Yeah,
right? Like he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
You know what I mean?
And then like, cause it's like just getting back to like the for real mass incarceration thing. It's like it's fucked up and it's a cycle only because you see it. Like I know families that can have like 3 or 4. Let's just look at a family of kids. They had 3 or 4 brothers, and all 3 or 4 of them would be in jail. Like, dog, you gotta realize that those men are gone from the family, like for however long. So then you got sisters who end up probably having kids. They don't legitimately have no uncles on their mama's side. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's no close proximity, males. And a lot of times when that happens, I know niggas say they don't want to be role models, but unfortunately, you got to be. You got to be somebody's role. Somebody got to look up to you at some point, so you should at least try to be a model citizen. But so then you got these dudes who may or may not have a father in their life and shit, and then they don't have no immediate relatives who are males, and that shit just starts the cycle over and over again. So what we was talking about earlier, shout out to Carmen G and Sharia Moore. I was talking about this earlier. They were saying that there just needs to be more opportunity, which I get that because I think a lot of people commit crimes because they don't have opportunity to do other shit. And just to give you a layman's term of that is niggas need something to do. All right, I just want to break it down to you like how I thought it in my head. Niggas need something to do, which is true because when you don't have shit to do, then you start doing other shit that don't make sense. Cause I figure if some of these dudes, and sometimes I hate to equate it like this, but like it's certainly true. I think a lot of drug dealers are excellent business people, dog. I'm talking about they are excellent. They product just happen to be drugs. Like some of these dudes got magnificent, brilliant business minds. If they had the opportunity to be a part of a legitimate business before and put that same hustle towards a legitimate business, then they would be prominent citizens in their community. So those opportunities need to exist. But this is where it get kind of bold though, and this is where we do this shit to each other. Oftentimes we get an opportunity to build those structures or build those communities, and like we don't trust the communities that we came from, so we often don't build there.
I think that plays into it some,
Yeah.
but I think way more than that. You know, like 1,000 times more than that is. First of all, you know, if you look at that like education, right?
Yeah.
You know, you don't really find out about yourself, you know, until what, 7th grade, you know, 8th grade, really, before you kind of really start to dive into who black people are, maybe. Maybe.
I'll say
you know what I mean?
high school, really.
In some cases, right?
Depending on who raised you.
Like, I get that, right? My whole thing is, though, how can you feel unity towards something that you never really even learned about? Gotcha. Like, there's nothing to gravitate you towards anything, right?
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? So, when it's that, you just see, like, all you read about is what white people did in the course of history, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? And all the good shit they did. None of all the evil shit they fucking did, right?
Right, exactly.
But all the good shit they did. And when you see that and you see that success, like you want that. You know what I mean? And that's what you learned about. That gets imprinted on you, right? So you start to use those tactics, right? True. And so I don't think it's really just that it's me and gets you and things, you know. Yeah. I think that's just how we've been conditioned over years, you know, and centuries, really, but, you know, decades. I'm talking about recently, you know, so decades, you know.
So you think it's like social conditioning?
Yeah, I don't think, you know, that's what it is. You know what I mean?
So how do we change it?
What's that?
How do we change it?
You got to get rid of the systems of control. So like I say, after every whatever you want to call it, like a period of oppression or whatever you want to call it, right?
Right.
There's like immediate freedom, then immediately like another system of control to put back that racial hierarchy. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And we see it like even now. You look at like mass incarceration. You know, black folks locked up like tens of times more than anybody else, right? You know what I mean? And we don't. I don't even want to get into the whole marijuana thing, man. Right? You know, but like I said earlier,
that's hot right now.
When you have innocent people taking a plea because they can't afford a lawyer. You know what I mean? Or they don't trust a public defender to really represent them, right? And this great fucking system when you say, you know, you're innocent, proven guilty and all that shit, right? Then, like, I get it. You know what I mean? Right. I understand why you mad at this dude over here. You know what I mean? Like, I understand why you want more, right? Because you tried to do things the right way, or you talked to, you know, look, and it hasn't worked out for you. You know, you take a step, and it seems like, you know, you lose 3 or whatever, right? So like,
for sure.
I'm not saying I condone it, but I understand why people get frustrated and why they look and they start infighting and things like that, right? Yeah. And it's not anything different than what any other culture does. Yeah, it's just that our shit just gets magnified, right? Because like when we ask for things and we demand things, right? Then that's when the media goes back. See, look, what y'all doing? Exactly. Oh, they looting. Oh, you know, shit like. Man, come on, man.
And just
real.
I didn't want to.
And then these docile ass Negroes that actually buy that shit. Yeah. Oh, we shouldn't be tearing up, blah blah blah. Shut up. All right, you know.
That's why when, again, I ain't really want to get all the way into politics, but politics and mass incarceration
go hand in hand. That's exactly what it is.
But
because what it is these white politicians, right, that have looked at these working class whites and these poor whites or whatever, and they made them like resent or fear black people. Yeah. You know, he's the law and order candidate. He is this and he's that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So and then it just continuously, it's like in Jim Crow, it's almost like they competed against each other to like who can make the more like restrictive set of code laws or codes to restrict black folks, right?
Exactly.
And now with this war on drugs, it's like who can be a tougher candidate on law and order and shit like that, right?
Exactly what
it's the exact same thing. It's
exactly
just dressed in different clothes.
And that's what I was gonna say about the vice president debate and shit was that when they asked Pence about, all the racial unrest and, black people being killed by the police. He had one line for that. He said that they empathize with all the people who lost their lives. But, like, his return, though, was that we need to bring law and order to those rioting. So that's not even in that question, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's where they going with it. And this is, and I hate to say it, dog, this is where Democrats or Biden at this point can actually lose this election. Because like you said, some white people are actually scared. Mm-hmm. So like telling them that we go control, I mean basically, I'll just call it what it is, we go control these niggas, is enough to make some people vote for Trump. Like, and I seen a meme that was so true and shit. It was like it said that all Republicans aren't racist, but being racist isn't a big concern for them. All right, so basically what that means is that they not all racist, but that's not the deciding factor.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just like silence is condoning shit. It's the same kind of thing. Like,
I might not hate niggas, but if you do, I ain't gonna be mad at you.
Exactly. So this still is just as bad.
It's the same thing.
It's the same fucking thing, dog.
Yeah.
And that's what we looking at right now. And that kind of I don't even know what to call this shit. I guess I call it that kind of attitude or that kind of culture. I guess you can even call it. It's what's going to keep mass incarceration going. Like that, and obviously that it makes money. Cheap labor is obviously a thing. It always has been a thing.
When any part of the prison system is being privatized, right? So like the United States incarcerates more people than any country in the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
And within the United States, black folks are incarcerated more than anybody else in the United States. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, in essence, they locking us the fuck up.
I mean, yes. You know what I mean? Countries like North Korea and Iran, don't lock up like they're, so to speak, subcultures or whatever you want to call it. All the different cultures they have. That much. It's just ridiculous, man.
I don't know what the resource thing is a thing. I mean, obviously, if there were more resources, but at the end of the day, depending on what decision you make, because at the end of the day, you're still an individual. You have to make decisions. But,
so I'm on the whole tip that Ice Cube is on, right? And I know he's been leaving these, little videos on Instagram and shit talking about, we need to let them, make them tell us, what we're going to get for voting for them, right?
Yeah.
And, some people are like, no, we just got to get Trump out. What then, motherfucker? Like, what then?
Yeah, exactly. Because just because it's a Democrat office don't mean that the work is done.
Right, And
I use this comparison before, and I mentioned it earlier today. But, like, I always look at this shit. Let me go back. So I think I mentioned it before. I seen the documentary on, goddamn, who's the fucking general for the North? Grant, right? So I looked at the documentary about that shit, and I was just looking at how, again, if you've heard this before, I don't give a fuck, I'm telling it again, about what the North had to give up if they lost, and what the South had to give up if they lost and shit. And the thing is, dog, the North had to, like, if they'd have lost, like, they would have had to give up everything. Like, this whole shit would have been, like, slave territory. They'd have had to give up all their goods, all their horses, all their guns and ammo and shit, and then they would have to then become, like, basically prisoners almost, right? But then if the South lost, which they did, they didn't really give up shit. Supposedly they gave up slavery. Supposedly, because that shit didn't really work that way. But that was it. They got to keep all of their shit, go home to their families, probably went out and had beers and ale with motherfuckers with fucking Yankees and shit. I'm just saying. But and I tell that story just so that you understand that at the end of the day, no matter what party it is, all these motherfuckers is from the same gang. That's all I want y'all to realize. Like, so you picking Democrats over Republicans, whatever. They all from the same gang. They might be out here arguing with each other on Capitol Hill, but I bet they going to the back having beers together. They still from the same gang, bro.
And people are thinking like, what are my other choices? What else can I do?
We got to start making them other choices.
Right, but like even now, we can't wait to act in year 3.5 of somebody like Trump's term. You know what I mean? You got to look at year one, month one. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
You've got all kinds of people and candidates and shit like that, whether you're a socialist, a Green Party, or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's when you need to start looking and make, outside of Republican and Democrat, right? Because then you've got 3 years. You've got some time to build something, right?
Exactly.
Obviously, we've been trained to think about elections during election time.
Exactly.
And no other time,
And no
right?
other time, right.
And so then when you think about that during that time, there's not enough time to get another, candidate. Like, this shit has been thought through. It is chess, not checkers, right? And then these docile ass Negroes continue to fall for it day in and day out. You know what I mean?
I feel.
And that's the only thing they do for their communities in those 4 years sometimes is vote, right?
Yeah.
I don't see none of these cats out here like volunteering their time or trying to teach these kids or coach these kids or doing whatever.
Yeah.
I do that shit. You do that shit, right? Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to really do something for your community, we've done more from the community than the motherfucker that goes in and punch a fucking ballot once every goddamn 4 years.
Say that shit then.
Say that shit then. I can't, man. Yeah, because I'm kind of mad. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Say that shit then, nigga. No, that's real talk, though.
That's how you change fucking shit,
that's
right?
How you change it, yeah. I mean, you gotta give not only just the opportunity, but you gotta give a different perspective too. And what I mean by that is like, I got lucky. I think I'll just say I got lucky. I had a different perspective. I mean, yes, I grew up in 48205, which is not a great place and shit. And a lot of my people from this area have either moved on to the upper room or they are locked up in mass incarceration. It's not funny, man. But I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. But I mean, yeah, you to a degree. And I know people hate when other people say this because it sounds like a crutch or whatever. But to a degree, you are a victim of your circumstances. Sometimes, I mean, you can come out of that and you can try not to use that as a crutch. But at some point, though, you are in a position that you have to maneuver differently in order to get out of it. And everybody don't get a chance to do that. So this is my thing. Like even some of the niggas who passed on, and some of the niggas who been in jail. Anybody who been in my close circle though, I had the opportunity to like go away to school and not had a chance to go to school. And I knew school wasn't for everybody. I mean, hell, school wasn't for me. And if I could get that shit back for a motherfucking pint of Crown Royal right now, I probably would. But a pint of Crown Royal Peach. At that.
Damn, for real?
Hell yeah, fuck it. I would get that shit back in a heartbeat.
Okay.
But yeah, even those, like, I was just telling them, like, just try to get that experience to get out of these four walls and shit. And the four walls of the city is what I mean by that. A lot of times people don't understand how much they can be because they ain't never seen shit else.
Right.
But this is the part that worries me though. I used to tell niggas that back in the day because we was kind of sheltered. You know what I'm saying? But now you don't even have to leave your crib to see what's out there.
Right.
Like the internet connects you to shit that you might never see in your life. So with those opportunities, I don't understand how niggas is stuck in thinking that like these four corners is like the epitome of everything. Somebody got to get in their head to let them know that it's more to this. And I mean, like it's all the information.
Safety,
is there.
Man. Safety is comfort.
Safety. We never had this much information when we was growing up.
I hear you.
Imagine if we had access to this much information though.
I hear it, bro. Like I get
but still,
it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Safety.
Safety
first, nigga.
Yeah. Shit
That's
like
what
that.
it is. Hey,
Man,
this shit is good though.
It is good.
Old Forrester, this shit's good.
Yeah.
Forehead sweating, so you already know what that is. Almost time to wrap this shit up. Shit, forehead sweating is almost over.
I feel that.
No, but just jump back on this real quick though. Onto the Old Forester. I never actually had it, so this was a pleasant surprise, just like the Balvenie was last week. It's got a little bite to it, but it's sweet up front. So the sweetness up front kind of gets you ready for the kind of wood and spice at the end. So it's I would say if you've never, let me see, I'm thinking of the shit that we had before. I'm feeling like if you've never had 100 proof bourbon, then I think this is probably the smoothest one, or the one I think that you would be able to handle if you jumping from like, let's say 80 to 100. So if you normally doing 40%,
that larceny 100 proof is rough. Boy.
It's rough. So that's why I said but it's good. It tastes good.
Yeah.
But it is rough. So like if you're doing 100, I definitely wouldn't say the 100 proof larceny, which we probably need to do again since I fucked that episode up.
Sometime soon.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
That was a good. Yeah, because Angry Principal was on.
Angry Principal's on there dropping jewels.
I know, right? We got to get him back on, man.
We do got to get him back on. Angry Principal, if you're watching right now, man. And the Damn That's Good Bourbon. What's the word?
Society.
No, it wasn't society. It was another word.
Damn, what's good, Bourbon? IG page. Shit, I don't know what.
Something
I
else.
don't know.
They ain't gonna make me look this shit up. We
Yeah.
live. Oh, my fucking phone dead. What the fuck was it?
I don't know, my nigga.
It's something different though. Damn, I had said
Okay.
that shit before I got drunk.
Okay.
Damn, I ain't want to do this shit.
So mass
live.
incarceration.
Yeah, right. Let's get back on subject.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I done fucked around and got high.
But you know what though? Like all that shit starts in grade school, elementary school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Read my paper, by the way.
No,
I explain it well in there.
I still haven't read it. I'm
but
gonna read that shit though.
Um,
Matter of fact, I'm gonna read that shit tonight.
but yeah, all
Maybe
that shit
too.
starts there, cause like for real, you know,
So when you say,
because you
let's
get
just tap into that real quick.
'cause
So
you-
you
go
saying
ahead.
that's really like it's really set up like that.
yeah,
Like
man.
the whole school thing is like setting you up for that.
Exactly right. So you know,
Yeah, explain.
it's literally like educational redlining. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And when you look at when you have first of all when you have 35, 40, 45 kids in the classroom to one teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and a white school not even 20 miles away has less than half of that,
Right,
right?
got 15.
So first of all, that's the first problem right there, right?
Gotcha.
And then you look at books. If there are enough books to go around, right? Are these books printed in, 2018, 2019, 2017, or are they printed in like 1993 and shit like that or whatever? You know what I mean? So like, which is a serious thing.
Yeah.
And if you look at some of like the test scores, standardized test scores, right? That white students are on the whole prepared for since like day one.
Yeah.
And that, students from predominantly black districts don't really even hear about until they get into like their sophomore, maybe junior year of high school.
True.
You know what I mean? So they've been prepared for this for their entire educational lifetime.
Yeah.
And then for a black, high school student, it might be, oh damn, I gotta take like a SAT?
Right.
Oh, I can take a class
Shit.
that's like prep me for that, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, there might be like free things online that can help me to study for that.
Yeah.
Oh, damn! Like you don't hear about any of that
Right.
shit. So it's
Yeah.
access, right?
Definitely,
You know what I mean?
definitely access.
So it starts there, and but that's when you start to see your opportunities dwindling. You know what I mean? And then you see these white folks going into all these different like awesome careers and things like that, and all these different schools and whatnot. Like we saw, we saw it in person when we were down in Georgia. You have an equine center on a high school campus.
On the campus.
And then barely, you have high schools here in the inner city that are barely even standing right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And this other high school has horses. You know what I mean? Like you see those opportunities that some kids have and you don't, right? And how can I close that gap as quick as I can?
Just
right?
Just so that y'all understand that this school had a veterinarian hospital on campus,
High school,
dog.
yeah.
On the high school campus. So you was go basically get a career out of high school. Like, yeah, all right. I just want y'all to understand
Yeah,
this.
I mean,
The
it's like
severity
things for
of that
you,
shit.
like
Yeah.
exponentially, like your opportunity exponentially, like open up, right? And when you don't have that, it's you want to close that gap, but you want to do it as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
And to do it as quickly as you can, sometimes it may not be the most legal thing.
I mean, so, like, with the schools being like that, with it for sure being like 35, 40 kids in the class, and that was even back when we was in school. So the shit is still bad. But, like, even with that going on, you know that that's too many kids in the classroom. So, like, what is it? People don't want to teach in the city, or they supposedly don't have enough money to get more teachers?
Because supposedly,
because like you go to a school and there's 40 motherfuckers in the classroom, but it's like it's 30 empty classes,
right?
though.
But then
So
a stigma gets sold too, right? So like, if you teach in the inner city, it's gonna be like Lean on Me, the movie and shit, like you know what I mean? Where that's not the case at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like any school, like a white kid with ADHD, you know what I mean, might be just as wild as some other, And so, I mean, like a lot of that gets sold, and through like really what it is educational propaganda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So when you look at teacher quality and things like that, and again, I want to say this: I'm not saying that the city doesn't have good teachers. It just comes down to like you look at a teacher in the suburb that has 15 students in the class, and a teacher in the city that has 35 or 40 students in the class. They're not going to be as effective. Simple as that.
And we getting off into the educational part, which is a part of this.
No, but that's how it leads to this whole mass incarceration thing.
Right, but I just want to say this too, though. Like, I don't want you parents Let me look into the camera. I want you parents to think that this is in any way a way to get you off the hook, because some of you
not at all.
need to be more involved as well. That could be helpful. I'm just saying, when you're talking about a school system that if you lead the city of Detroit, if you in the city of Detroit as a teacher, you probably got like, and I'm just throwing a random number out here just because I've dealt with school, the inner city school. You probably looking at, I don't even think I'm cutting it close by saying you probably looking at 20% parental involvement, like for real. And then you go out to the suburbs, but you're looking at like 80 or 90%.
Right, okay, but then you got to ask yourself the question, why are those parents not involved? Because they're working their asses off, or they might be addicted to something. Again, all those social...
But
it's chess.
It also goes back. It also goes back to the community, though.
Right. I'm not trying to take the onus off of individual responsibility. I'm not trying to do that at all. Right.
And the only reason I say that shit though is because I always bring this shit up.
No. But here's the thing though. So that shit always gets twisted, right? Yeah. To back into that whole like the same as the black on black violence thing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You can't put me in there.
No, I'm not putting you in there, cuz. No, listen up though. So,
right.
So that shit always gets twisted, because we call black folks. We need to do this and we need to do that. We don't do anything more or less than any other culture or race on this. No, bro, we don't. It just gets publicized more for real. And now we've all just been bred to believe that shit.
Come on, dog.
No, dude. Yes.
Parental involvement in school in the inner city. Come on.
Yes,
dog.
Dude. Yes.
On,
Can it be better? It can always be better, right?
No,
yes. But no. Stop, though, bro. Because we've started to put that shit over what the real fucking problem is.
I understand what the real problem is.
I know you do, but no. Let me speak on this, cuz. Because what happens, dude, right? People start to believe that there's no fundamental it's just you got shitty fucking parents. You got parents like Naaman did in freaking what's that shit?
On the Wire.
On the Wire.
His mama was shitty, bro.
Right. Yeah, he had a shitty mama. Right. But why? You got to get to the root cause, right?
Because she's a shitty person.
Dog, bro, stop, man. Right.
She was a shitty person.
Yes, stop though,
bro. That's a bad example.
For real, we buying into that shit right now, man. Really, dude. But why, man? Because motherfuckers don't have opportunity. So motherfuckers are shielded from shit, right?
Okay, I dig that, right? So
that's no. What I'm saying is that shit has to be handled first.
That shit. Oh yeah, okay.
You can't just treat the symptoms. You have to treat the disease. Yeah. Right. If you treat the symptoms, you're gonna stop it for a while, but it's gonna come back. You got to cure the disease
why
first.
Why are you curing the disease?
No, bro. You got to cure the disease before the symptoms.
Nigga, listen to what I'm saying. Why you curing the disease? Then obviously like how my man stepped in, right? The fucking thing. How he stepped in and basically took care of the nigga. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. That needs to happen though. And
right.
I always use that shit.
But people think that's the fix to everything.
Oh, that ain't the fix. You still gotta fix the problem.
So that's what I'm saying. We still have to call out the bigger shit too.
You still gotta do it.
I'm saying black folks, we get too stuck on the symptoms and not the actual cause of the disease.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's programmed.
Literally.
Though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's just like medical insurance. They want you to keep taking pills and shit instead of fixing what the fuck wrong with you. That's the kind of same thing and shit. Hey, fuck them kids though. I'm just bullshit.
Just keeping it real, man.
No, but seriously, I understand what you're saying. And by damn, I guess I never looked at that shit like that until you said that. That's kind of fucked up way to look at it though. You said it's kind of like the black on black crime thing.
That's exactly what it is.
I definitely don't want it to sound like that because I fucking hate that. So I don't want to sound like that when I say that.
Dog, the whole point is to make you think your problems are because of you and not us.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's the whole point.
Damn, I guess you're right.
You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Right?
No matter if them bitches jelly or not.
Whatever. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. How can you pull yourself up by your bootstraps if they fucking spaghetti fucking strands and shit, right? Right?
Hell yeah. Factual, though.
Come on, man.
Deep conversation, nigga.
Just saying.
For sure. Damn, it's been an hour, though. I told you that shit was going to go fast. My forehead sweating and shit.
I know you drunk, my nigga.
I am, though. Damn, nigga had to call me out, nigga. I am, though. I ain't gonna fuck you up. I'm drunk.
Hey, for real, he got like a pool, like a little sweat on his forehead, you know what I mean?
No, for real.
I probably do too as a bullshit.
This motherfucker old forced to get me together. But no, it's all real shit though. It's all real conversation, dog. I'm glad we was able to do this shit live though. I wish more people had jumped in. Oh shit. She talking about come to Easy Street. What time is it?
We just might do that.
We might do that, but shit, they stopped serving food. At 9, so shit.
Yeah,
Oh no, it's at 10.
Y'all better wait till about 9:45.
Oh, it's at 10. We still got time and shit.
Oh,
No, we
yeah.
go. We might
we
pull
up
up
there.
though.
We there.
We there. Easy Street Saloon, dog. We about to pull up right now,
We
dog.
there. What is it?
Said she can't hear us. Oh, that's
10
too bad.
Mile.
Yeah, 10 Mile and yeah. Hold on, where was shit at? I guess I don't know why you can't hear us, dog. It's broke. I don't know why you can't hear us. Man, oh no wonder ain't nobody talking on IG. They can't hear us. I didn't know that. All right, that's all right. But yeah, we gonna pull up there. Shit, I forgot. I thought they stopped at 9, but it is 50-cent wings tonight, so we gonna pull up.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I guess let's wrap it up. This is an interesting conversation though.
Yeah,
Almost worthy of a whole nother conversation.
I am saying.
You might have to though, especially with this motherfucking old Forester. This shit is all right here though.
Yeah.
All right, but fucking on the way out though, I guess we'll go ahead and round it out and shit, man. What you want to say on the way out, dog?
Man, just learn as much as you can about unlearn the shit you were taught in school.
Yeah.
And then learn as much as you can about your actual history. You know, there's a ton of black authors out there. I mean, just go out there. It's easy as Google search. You know what I mean? And I know y'all be I know y'all be on Google. So come on, go ahead and go to mahoganybooks.com. There you go.
Dog, Mahogany Books.
Mahogany Books.
Them, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They tighten you up.
No doubt, dog. On that note, bro, mass incarceration definitely is is a real thing. We do have to start looking at the solutions and not just the band-aids. I know that when I talk about the parental involvement, now that you mention it, it really does sound like black on black crime. I hate that it sounds like that. I hate that you're right. I hate it, nigga. Like, I want to choke the shit out of you because you're right about that.
Damn it.
Because, like, I stood on that for so long, but now it sounds like it don't make no sense.
No, nigga, bruh, it does make sense, right? Like, yeah,
but that can't
there
be
needs to be more
parents
involved in their children's lives. I'm not saying
that's not the whole solution,
right? But when I'm saying sometimes we need to look at the reasons why they're not involved, and then we need to solve those problems first.
For sure, you're right, dog. Damn it, you're right. God damn, it's time to go to the Easy Streets, little dog. All right, so yeah, on that note, dog, yeah, I mean, we got a lot of work to do. And education and opportunities are going to be at the forefront of that. And again, I know I mentioned this on plenty of episodes. When I say education, I don't always mean classical education, which means schooling. Educating just means reading books.
Man.
Educating your kids mean, look, I'm going to tell you what educating your kids now means, especially at our age. It means telling them stories about what you've been through, what you should have done, what makes more sense, and probably what you shouldn't do. Like, sometimes you got to tell them the stories that you are completely afraid to tell anybody.
But tell them success stories too,
yeah,
though.
tell them success stories, yeah, for sure. So they know what to aspire to be. But at the end of the day, that don't always mean like classical education. I mean, obviously you want to do the K through 12 and shit. I mean, obviously you want to get that out the way. College though, I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but definitely have a plan when you go.
There's other alternatives.
There's other alternatives, and learning at this point. Learning is everywhere, dog. Like, we have it like this, dog. You can learn about anything. All you gotta do is Google.
Khan Academy. Man,
No, Khan Academy.
It's so many outlets now. Just
so many ways to learn, for sure. Dog.
YouTube, you know, whatever.
Especially YouTube. Yeah,
I mean, you gotta be careful. You gotta check your sources on YouTube, though, for real.
Yeah, but you can.
Hey, Stuart, put that source in there yet?
No,
he didn't put that source in there. Okay.
Stuart. Okay. On that note, we up out here, dog. Last things about Old Forester, dog. Black Power Fist, dog. How many you give it?
Black Power Fist, bro. I'm gonna give it 3 solid Black Power Fists. You know what I mean? I like the initial apple / citrus / spice, you know what I mean? Yeah. Ease into, I mean, not necessarily spice, but cedar, but then they kind of eased into a little spicy. Yeah. I'm on board, man. I like it. Yeah, most definitely.
All right, now see, I feel you on that. Now I'm gonna give it that good strong 4.
Oh shit! Okay, that's
because I gave the Balvenie 3.5, and
I gave the Balvenie 4.
Exactly. So this is better than Balvenie to me, only because I do favor bourbons more than Scotch.
Okay.
So I think because of that, and plus again, it does lead off with that apple kind of sweetness. So it is a fruit sweetness to the front to get you ready for the wood and spice finish. So I think because of that, it suits my light palate nicely.
He says light, I say soft.
Light palate, sucker.
Soft.
Sucker. We got Soft with the T. On that note, dog, we are up out of here, dog. It's been a pleasure to be on a live stream for the Beers, Bourbon, Whiskey podcast. Hopefully we can do it again one of these nights, man. So thank everybody for checking us out. If you haven't seen any of the other seasons or episodes, make sure that you do log on to eblockradio.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can check out all of the past shows. Because we got quite a few. 2 seasons and we into the 3rd now, so make sure you keep up. To the next time, dog. You already know what it is. Beers, Bourbon, Whiskey, man. Everybody loves BBW. It's your boy, man, Q Lewis, holding it down live from the 48205. I got my man Bo in the building.
I say.
We up out of here, man. To the next time, dog. For sure. We got a little bit left. We're going to drink some more before we go to Easy Street.
Most definitely. Easy Straight.
Right. Peace out, y'all. I gotta find the intro though, because we don't normally do this live. All right, we off real.
All right, y'all.